Pokken Tournament on the Wii U was an interesting game. Based on the arcade game, Pokken Tournament was a fighting game that had heavy Tekken influences since the game was developed by Bandai-Namco. Pokken, Tekken, come on, I know you see it. The Nintendo Switch has been getting some enhanced ports of Wii U titles in the first year, and Pokken Tournament seemed like a good candidate for that considering the original title was slightly limited in terms of hardware power of the Wii U. So is Pokken Tournament DX the ultimate edition of Pokken? Pokken Tournament DX is at its core a fighting game involving different Pokemon. When on the battlefield, the game has two main points of emphasis, field phase and duel phase. Field phase is the open aspect of the game where you run around dishing damage to your opponent. You then shift into duel phase, which plays out more like a traditional fighter with a 2D view. Transitioning from phase to phase is dependent on what happens on the battlefield, but more than likely you will experience both phases within a single battle. I like this aspect of the game as it keeps things fresh. The combat works on a triangle system when it comes to what will work against your opponent. A normal attack will beat a grab attack will beat a counter attack, and a counter attack will beat a normal attack. Learning what to use and when is pretty essential if you want to play this game as a more in-depth fighter than just a random button masher, which I quickly learned. Two more key aspects of the gameplay are synergy attacks and support Pokemon. Synergy is gained throughout a match and fills up a meter. When the meter is full, you can then access the synergy stage for your Pokemon you choose that will essentially make them a more powerful and faster version of themselves, allowing you to dish out major attacks, including a very powerful burst attack that will do some major damage to your opponent. Support Pokemon are chosen before the match begins, and offer various things when their meter is filled up, such as HP boosts or attacks. If you didn't play the original game on the Wii U, and I only dabbled in the demo, I highly suggest you use the training mode to learn the basics of the game and hone your skills. It's a pretty unique fighting game with a lot of things going on, and the training actually does a very good job of giving you the basic and advanced tactics that Pokken Tournament DX offers. It can be a bit overbearing and jarring at first, but the training mode really helps flesh out the gameplay. And honestly, the gameplay is pretty fun. I'm not really into more modern fighters as it's a bit of a learning curve for me, but once I adjusted to how the game plays and works, I actually found myself having a lot of fun with it. The Pokemon are flashy and each feel pretty unique from one another, so I had a good time exploring the different types of Pokemon to see what their strengths and weaknesses are. Pokken Tournament DX offers a lot of gameplay modes in order to keep things fresh as well. There are daily challenges, single battles, online battles, and of course the story mode, which is called Ferrum League. Ferrum League has you choosing a Pokemon and going throughout a series of battles, trying to achieve a higher rank. This is the bit of the narrative that plays out with the story progressing, and you gain higher levels. It gets the job done. New to the Switch version are a couple key things as well. The game offers all of the arcade characters, the Wii U version was missing 4, and even includes an exclusive one to this version of the game, the Psydueye. I probably said that wrong. The game also runs better at a smooth 60 frames per second and allows for more local multiplayer options than the Wii U had because of system limitations. What's more, a new mode with 3v3 battles has been added to the Switch version as well, which is an exclusive. The presentation of Pokken Tournament DX is pretty solid. Graphically speaking, the characters themselves look great, although some of the backgrounds are pretty disappointing and bland, and a tad bit blurry at times. Burst attacks look phenomenal and are really flashy, and the aforementioned 60 frames per second makes this fighting game run very smoothly. The audio in the game is solid as well, with enjoyable music and solid voice work. All in all, I didn't expect to like Pokken Tournament DX as much as I ended up liking it. The learning curve and adjustment was pretty brutal honestly, but once I got in tune with how the game operated, I found myself playing for hours and hours. If you didn't pick up the Wii U version of the game, I highly suggest you check out Pokken Tournament DX, as it's really the best version of the game. If you're a Wii U veteran of the series, there may not be enough here to warrant a second purchase, but die-hard Pokken Tournament fans will want to check it out. Pokken Tournament DX is another fantastic Switch release, and a game that fighting fans will definitely want to check out.